Hello, this is Iron Bill back again with another video, and I wanted to have a secondary video for this Trials weekend because I think that things have improved significantly enough to warrant another video. Also, I wanted to thank viewers for all the suggestions that you've given in the comment section, and the discussions going on each of the videos are very helpful. They're in the right vein. We do sometimes have differing opinions, but it's all been respectful, and I really, really do appreciate that. And I want you to know that all the pieces of advice that you're giving me, I'm really trying as hard as I can to incorporate those things. I won't be able to do all of them, but I'm really going to try to make the most of the opportunity that's presented to me here. And also, I really especially want to thank those of you who have offered to play with me and to help me, achieve my goals. And I've not been able to play with all of you yet, and I look forward to doing just that. I did play quite a bit today with a friend of mine that I've known for a while, but also Eddie. 1500 hit me up again this past weekend a couple of times, and we've played a few times. So, um, if somebody wants to play, wants to give it a shot, yeah, I hope you have a big backpack because I'm a hard carry. Anyway, I've also had some questions about my loadout, and I thought I would open today with just a very brief look at that. And somebody had suggested, I want to start with this, that if I'm going to run the Void Walker or the Blank Warlock, that I should run Eye of Another World. And I am. Now, I don't have the best one for this situation, but this is serviceable. And I've actually done what I wanted to do with this, and I wanted to build into recovery more than anything else. So I knocked my resilience down a little bit. I also wound up with, I think, relatively high discipline as well. So this took me to the place I wanted to be well enough. And if you look here, mobility is 67, tier 7 resilience, tier 10 recovery, tier 7 discipline. Intellect is 4. That's probably a bad deal in this situation, and then strength is 60. So on the balance, for the way I'm playing, this is probably okay. It's a jump off point. Um, I'm running Healing Rift, Blink, Pocket Singularity, although I did take a viewer suggestion to separate my keys on that, and I don't have that perfected yet. I keep unintentionally triggering it, which you'll see in the video that I'm about to show you. Scatter Grenade, and the aspects that I'm taking are Feed the Void, so that I get Devour, and Child of the Old God, so I get a little help with the energy. Anyway, I basically you send the orb out, and it sucks energy from the enemy. So yeah, there we go. These other fragments I picked basically because of their stats. So I have Echo of Leeching, Echo of Dilation, Echo of Obscurity, Echo of Domineering, and you can pause the video and look at those, and you can make comments on those. After that, basically I set up my mods so that they would benefit target aiming on my weapons that I'm running. And typically I'm going to run this Summoner with Onslaught, Elemental, Capacitor, Ricochet rounds, full bore. It's actually pretty solid. It's not Adapt, obviously, but it's pretty good. I had another one with Target Lock, but I think this one's better. I'm switching between Traveler's Chosen, and you look at it, it's just a stat monster, and this Wastelander. Wastelander's not the best shotgun I could have, but I do not have a conditional finality, and I don't really have a good substitute for that on this character. I just don't. I have to farm that if I'm going to get it, and I don't know if it's worth the effort, to be honest. So, not a good replacement shotgun for that top slot. I've got a pretty good Matador for the energy slot, but nothing there. And then, of course, my GL is nothing to write home about. It does have Impulse Amplifier, which is the only reason I threw that on, but I tried to kill somebody with that today, and he just laughed at me and just kept running at me. GLs are not very good, and I don't have a very good LMG. This is the best I've got right now, and honestly, it's not that good for this purpose. I mean, it's okay, serviceable, but anyway. So let's then move on to gameplay. And I'm going to show you basically the better part of two matches. First one is going to be one where we lose, and the next is going to be one where we do a bit better. I'm playing right now with my good friend Tillman-Charm. He's right there in front of me. I've known him for a very, very long time. Excellent player. And basically he's coaching me, telling me what to do at this point in time. You can't hear it. Another friend got a dog, told me to run the Traveler's Chosen, and I'm just no good with it. Not Traveler's Chosen, I'm sorry, that's the Forerunner. Got myself separated there. Our friend here is doing pretty well, but I've got to get involved in this fight. And I get caught in a reload out in the open. I threw that round. That was all on me. I separated from the fight when I shouldn't have, and then I just walk out in the open and reload. It was a really, really dumb thing to do. And that's where I'm at right now as a player. I mean, I'll have flashes of pretty good play and then flashes of absolute stupidity. I mean, it's very inconsistent. I need to back out of there, which I do. They're going to follow up with a grenade, most likely. And there it is. Fragment. Or not fragment, but threadlings. Now, I did do something right there, and that is that I put some pressure on that guy and put some damage on him. And, and I didn't die. And just staying alive in this case is probably one of the better things I can do. Now, it doesn't mean go off and hide, but put a little pressure on and survive. Alright, so my friend went to the right. I'm trying to help cover over here on the left. This guy peeks too much. And we're just kind of in a place now. Now, you see I'm just no good at that. I got flinched off of that. I popped it a couple times, and I said, you know what? I'm getting out of that. And I change it. Back to the trusty and Traveler's Chosen. I would have been far better off with that, trying to gun him from that distance than getting snapped off of that like that. I'm going to have to practice in other game modes before I bring that. That was actually the very first time I'd ever used the gun. Well, in competition, that is. And he gets us both with that. And it's pretty evident by this point in time this is just a better team. Tillman is not enough to take a 3v1. My teammate, the random and myself are just no help whatsoever. I didn't even get a shot off. I just walked in there and died. I'm starting to understand how Tillman plays a bit better. Now, every now and then he'll do something kind of off the cuff, and I won't know what to do. And I'm kind of in a bad place here if they pop out there and I realize that. So I'm basically trying to get in a line where we can team shoot. That guy jumped over. We got our guy over there watching that line. He says, don't peek this. And I think I eventually just do and get eliminated. But I didn't have any choice because they were on the zone and it was either do it or don't do it. Now, probably I didn't need to give them special ammo by doing that. That's the other thought, or maybe super, but it's 4-1 and this thing's pretty much done at this point. But in all of this, I want to say that I played a lot of games with him today. And despite the fact that we won and lost, I did feel like at times, I played well enough to learn something from it, And I definitely learned from the stuff that he was telling me to do. He and Gunnadog both. Gunna was watching our matches, as because Tillman was sharing his screen. Or he or I were. I don't remember which one of us were. Alright, so here we go. Now, one of the things he told me today was that don't peek corners crouch because I won't be able to dodge out of it. I hadn't thought about that before. And that was the other thing he told me. He said, you expose yourself too much whenever you do step out. He said, you should do it in increments. Just look, 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 you know, and then when you finally see something, then you shoot. And then if you take any damage, immediately get out of it. That's my reaction time. That is the problem because I know what to do there. But, you know, if I get myself out there too much, obviously I'll die faster than I can react. But even then, it's difficult for me to, you know, make that jump back when I have to. All right, so we're off to a bad start. I did get a kill, but basically it was a cleanup. All right, so we're going to team here together. I'm going to push up here. I'm still out there too far, and I recognize it, and I back up. Then we know that they're over on the zone. We're just going to have to trade fire here. At this point, I just push in. 2 shotgun shots to do it, and we got it. We got that guy. He missed with the shotgun. Simple as that. You heard it go off. He missed. And I cannot tell you how. But my reasoning for that was I figured he had a shotgun, but if I could put anything on him at all and pull a shield, then my teammate right behind me could clean it up. I'm willing to take, you know, the death in order to win a round. And I'm just putting pressure on that corner, and Tillman says, just keep that corner locked down. So I'm going to pre-fire the corner. I think it was this round. Maybe it wasn't. That's coming up. We just need to go take the zone at this point. The res is around the post there. He cannot get to it. I didn't know that at the time, by the way. And I was a little bit concerned about that. And then they told me, said, no, they were right up there on you. So, you know, and it was useful to have somebody watching and kind of saying things to me at the time, even though my hearing makes that difficult. And that's another story. It was useful to have somebody watching. And so if you could, when you're playing, if you want to improve, if you want to have an experienced player, just watch your play while you're doing it and kind of guide you. It really is helpful. Okay, we've got to protect the heavy. Didn't kill him, but I put a lot of damage on him and he had to withdraw. That one we got. Now look down this line. Now see, I've got a little bit of cover there. This is a much better play on my part. Gonna knock that dusk field out. This guy's gonna have to come. But I don't want to let him have that heavy no matter what. And I've got to keep watching the radar. And I feel the damage that I'm taking. Now, do you see that pocket singularity I threw? Did not mean to do that. That's my key binding. And I'm activating it by accident. Okay. I'm hurt. I've got to back up a little bit. I go for the res here. And I probably should have stayed on the zone and just made the best of it. Because basically I let him capture. That's my fault. I have been taken off there over and over by shotguns jumping over the top and just blasting me the second they come over. And I guess I was a little bit afraid of that. Point being, if you have the zone, you got to control it. And I'm either going to win that 1v1 or I'm not. Going to blast down the shield. My teammate just went down. And that's Tillman. Now I've got a problem. Yeah. The Traveler's Chosen might have been a better choice there. And I probably had a grenade as well. But it's probably just as well I didn't waste the grenade. All right, so close match. 2-3. Looking for anyone to jump up. Tillman's there, so they won't. Waiting for someone to push through. Going to take a better angle because I'm a little bit exposed. He's up there on the zone. I've got my rift. Let's see if I'm smart enough to pull it. And I realize we've got a mess here, and I'm just going to have to go up here for it. And that was another one of those deals where he was either going to kill me or he wasn't going to kill me. But my teammate was right there to back it up if he did. He was going to be damaged one way or the other. Higher level player would have killed me. I need to jump over that instead of just walking up the steps. And I catch myself doing that over and over. Jump over it and then make him turn around. Then my teammate's got, you know, the other side of him. Even if he kills me, my teammate's got him. Set up on the corner. There they are. I was looking at that door. I need to look at this door. Well's going to save me there. Teammate or somebody put a grenade on him. Now this is where he says lock down the corner. Just don't let him in. So all we have to do is just fire that corner for the moment. Then Tillman's going to move up in a second. And that's being patient. Teammate dies there. It's okay. I'm going to get on the zone. We've got a res right there, and we've got the zone. There's no way he's getting here in time. Almost, but he didn't. So now, that was a big round for us. And Tillman clutched that one. Because I think he killed me before we had it. All right. So there's the bubble. I don't have a super for that, but Tillman does. And I was there to cut off the exit on the right if somebody came out. So, there it is. I did get a few drops finally today. And here we go. Want to show the numbers. All right. Now, that's a pretty good match. You know, be honest. And I think I even let it roll to KD here. Let's have a look at that. Maybe not. I think he jumped out of there before I could. All right. And that's cool. That's cool. He's a dynamite player. And so's Eddie, and so's Gunna, and a lot of the people that I've played with. That's still not going to get me to the lighthouse, and that's okay. And I went onto the clan Discord, and you know, we've been talking about a lot of this stuff too. A lot of people in the same boat I'm in. And one of the better players said, well, play a wealth card, you know, because I think that's what it's called. Passage of Wealth. And if you get to 7 wins on the card, however you get there, I mean, you're going to get a boost to your rank increase, and you'll get more drops anyway. And honestly, that was working out pretty well. I got up to 5 wins on that, and I was already starting to see more drops. And I thought that was easier than the persistence card. And you might say, well, you're not going to get the adept drop. Well, I wasn't going to get the adept drop on the persistence card anyway. I mean, it just wasn't going anywhere. You've got to string wins together, and for whatever reason, other than me just being bad, which I am, we couldn't string them together. It just wasn't working out. So, also Passage of Mercy, I felt like that moved along better. And I don't know if there's any difference in the way the matchmaking works with that. And I don't want this to be about matchmaking again, but it just seemed, because my friends couldn't understand why I was seeing such things. It's one of the reasons they played with me today, and then experienced it themselves. The only difference that I saw was that when I play persistence, it's always a pretty high level of blowouts. Okay, whereas if I play the other cards, a lot more close matches and a lot more wins. So, look, if you, from my perspective, what I want to get out of this is I want to feel like I'm improving, and I want to feel like I'm actually contributing in a positive way in the match. And if I can pull that off and get some loot along the way, That's all this is about anyway. I mean, whether I win or lose, I mean, stats, whatever, that's not that important to me. You know, it's only important as a measure of my growth personally. And once more, I'll draw a comparison to my competitive athletics. You know, I never really cared that much about telling anyone what I could do or what I could not do. What always mattered to me was whether or not I was getting the most out of myself I possibly could. And that meant racing the clock, setting goals and racing the clock, and making the kind of progress I felt I should be making, setting goals, achieving them. And everything else would just work out the way it worked out. And as long as I keep that mindset about this, then it's fun. And I had a good time today playing trials, even though I didn't win a bunch. Even, even though stat wise, I look awful. I still had a good time. And if I have a good time, then I'm going to go back into it because it's worth my time. My time in a game is about having fun. Give me a reason to be in a mode. I'll be there. I'll be there, and I'll be happy to be there. So, um, anyway, that's enough rambling about that. I once again want to thank everyone who is following. I want to thank everyone who has offered their help, either through comments or actual, getting in and playing with me, and with one another. I hope, and just keep it up, folks. It's a pleasure to be a part of this. So, with that said, this is Iron Bill thanking you all and signing out.